Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. And thank you for joining us today. This is fantastic. Can you do a brief introduction of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. So I'm Jakob Gudbrand. I'm responsible Thermo Fisher for what we call our customer and commercial excellence function. It includes our corporate accounts organization, customer marketing, as well as customer experience, which obviously is super important, and global financial solutions. And at the heart of what we do is our mission, which is to enable our customers to make the world a healthier, cleaner and safer place. And we essentially do that by collaborating, partnering with our customers to ultimately bring therapies to patients faster.
It's a fantastic mission.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
So the theme of the podcast and the conference, you probably know, is innovation can't wait.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, from your perspective, from Thermo Fisher's Scientific's perspective, what is the urgency? What does that look like in the life science industry today?
Yeah. You know, speed. Speed is what matters. For biotechs, a day is what matters. It's not a month. You can't wait. So what we try to do is to partner and connect the dots for the biotechs to allow them to accelerate science. And one example and way we do that is through our accelerator drug development, which is a partnership in a way where our CDMO and our CRO are connecting capabilities so that our researchers or the biotechs are able to advance the therapies, because in a connection between a CDMO and a CRO, there are so many touch points. And we want to be able to help them, plow through that and ultimately ensure that, again, the therapies come to market much faster.
Yeah.
So,
to forward the mission.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are the key ingredients, though, that allow for that rapid innovation in a highly regulated, which of course our industry is, complex industry like life sciences, specifically to equipment manufacturing?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a number of things that are critical for equipment manufacturing. I think, as you may know, we spend a significant amount into R&D. We invest more than $1.4 billion in innovation to ultimately accelerate what our customers are able to achieve with those technologies. Innovation is, I think, at the heart of what we do. It's in our DNA. It's part of our 4I values as well. And it's how we wake up in the morning to help the community to.
And I think it's so important, right? Because I think that especially in this moment, people don't understand how much is being turned around and put back into innovation.
Yeah.
So just for going off script for a moment,
Sure.
Can you talk for a moment about what Thermo Fisher thinks about and why are you putting that investment back in? Because I think that's confusing to people who aren't in our world of life science. Like, why is that important to put those funds back into innovation?
Ultimately the world really can't wait, as the theme as well is here, for therapies to come out. There are so many complex illnesses and diseases in the world, and when we think about, as I mentioned, enabling our customers, that's all about providing them with technologies, products, solutions, consumables, services that connects the value chain from early discovery all the way through development out to commercial manufacturing. And the ability to do that faster obviously helps patients in the end.
Exactly.
Right? So when you're passionate about innovation and you're passionate about solving some of the world's greatest challenges, whether they're analytical challenges or ways of solving diseases, then I think that's what we as a company are trying to unlock with our customers. And it is, as I mentioned, about collaboration. It's about partnership. You can't do it on our own. You can't do it on your own. We want to connect, collaborate. It's a community, right? And I think that's how we try and deliver it.
Yeah. Well, I love hearing that. So how is Thermo Fisher Scientific using AI, automation, and other emerging technologies to accelerate those discoveries?
Yeah, I mean, AI, I think, is no longer theoretical. It's
Absolutely.
transformative.
Yeah.
We have had it around for a couple of years now. We use it to understand massive data and take the complexity out in order to empower our teams so that they can be better equipped to inform our customers around how we can help them. That's a big application for us, and yeah, I think it allows us again to understand better what goes on. It's a way to hopefully again accelerate the science that we're also passionate about helping our customers with.
Are you being pushed by your customers to continue to see more and more innovation in that space?
I think both. On one end, there are customers that are ahead of us.
Yeah.
There are some that are less ahead,
Yeah.
right? And I think we learn from each other, as you mentioned before. It's a community. And it's about learning from each other, and we take some of the best in to try and accelerate those learnings. Yeah, it's a really I think it's a really cool set of capabilities that are coming out from AI.
Yeah. And what about automation? Are you
Automation,
that's a whole other world.
it's a whole other world. I mean, I think the two are somewhat connected between AI and automation. We use machine learning, and it's about embedding some of that into our instrumentation. So, for example, customers are coming to us and say, how do you automate in the lab? How do you connect all the different instruments and equipment and software that exists there so that the user of them are producing the data and producing the results faster. So how we think about that is we are applying a significant part of what I mentioned before, the $1.4 billion of investment, into connecting our various capabilities in the lab to create a lab of the future. And I just say that the lab of the future is right around the corner. I mean, it's here. Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, we're being asked to do it too, and it's interesting. What mostly comes up is the question about, am I going to be replaced?
Yeah.
So I imagine you get that question as well.
Yeah, yes, we do get those questions both from our colleagues and others. I think it's not about replacing. I think it's about augmenting human knowledge and human intelligence. And if you can find the sort of the balance in the two, I think we are able to, appropriately leverage generative AI to bring science forward as well. It certainly is an enabler.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So we're now 5 years out from COVID, thank goodness, which is hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your company was a leader in that whole pandemic and in your response efforts. What do you think would be the biggest lessons that you took away, your company took away from that time in helping you to plan for the future?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. I think it comes down to one thing, well, maybe two things: partnership and focus. I think those two are the key learnings from what happened during the COVID pandemic, the early part of the COVID pandemic. We have capabilities that we rapidly connected in order to have an effective response to the COVID pandemic. For example, our cryo-electron microscopy technologies have been used or were used to identify the spike protein. We were obviously significant in the testing part of COVID, and we did those things in order to keep R&D running, in order to keep clinical trials and supplies going, keep our colleagues and customers safe. And when I look through what we achieved there collectively as a community, we were able to make sure that we didn't lose a beat as we worked through the very challenging period for the world. So again, partnership and the way we then focused on something. And I'd also say, when you have partnership and you have focus, I think there's nothing that we can't achieve together in science.
Well, that resonates with us. We are built on community and partnership and gathering stakeholders.
Absolutely.
It's such a I think we all learned a lot during that time, and hopefully we can continue to do that. So lastly, I would like to take an opportunity and introduce our viewers to our new collaboration in
Yeah.
our Philadelphia lab, the Advanced Therapeutic Center that Biolabs and Thermo Fisher are doing together. Do you have any thoughts about what we think is a very exciting project?
We are equally excited
Good.
about that. I mean, I don't think there's just not a better place for it than in Philadelphia. It's the birthplace of cell and gene therapy, as you well know, and it's exciting for the Biolab residents, of course, that have the opportunity to connect and collaborate with some of our scientists, also for the broader community in the area that can come in and connect and collaborate in a couple of labs that are going to be set up in that space. I view it as not just as a lab. In fact, I would argue it is a launch pad for breakthroughs. And that's how I would probably frame it, right? A launch pad for breakthroughs, and that collectively will allow us to partner, collaborate, and bring science forward, and hopefully bring therapies to patients faster, as I started out with.
Well, two things. Hopefully you can be there for the opening.
Hope
and
so.
I believe it will be before we have Bio in Philadelphia, which was announced.
That's great.
So that's a great opportunity for us to get back together. Anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up here?
I want to say thank you, and
Thank you.
we're excited about collaborating with you, and ultimately, as I said, unlocking our mission, which is enabling our customers to make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer, and bring therapies to patients faster. That's what we're passionate about, and that's in our DNA.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. You've been a fantastic partner to Biolabs and to Lab Central. So we thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Great. It's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.